Welcome to the All-Terrain Cup Series. My name is Mason Flagar, and I am joined here by Mark Allen Bivens. Mark,
Back
today,
again.
Mark, today we're gonna be
Mason,
racing 200, or we're gonna be racing 200 miles around here at Auto Club. How do you feel coming into this one?
I'm feeling good after a dominant performance last week by our driver in the. If I could find it again. Shoot. Here we go. Um, but after a dominant performance by Brad Wilson last week at Las Vegas, it's good to be back for another 200-mile event. And now we're going to continue on our West Coast swing, but this time it's going to be in the heart of California. It's going to be in Fontana.
Yeah, Mark, it's gonna be one tough race for these drivers as they get 100 laps here around Auto Club, and we got stages tonight, so that'll be
Mm-hmm.
one big thing to watch. You know, tire wise, that's gonna be one more thing to watch,
Mm-hmm.
and some big changes in the lineup, as one of them being Brandon Redford, gonna be in the number 9 Chevrolet today, and for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I was going to point that out before you did, but yeah, Brennan Redford making a manufacturer and number change. Still the same driver, though, and looking to continue to bring the heat. Another headline going into here, Max Molina, or Daytona 250 winner, is back for Fontana after missing last week at Vegas. So we're going to have to see how that's going to play out. Scott Bryant, the guy that finished second last week after having a good battle with his teammate of Brad Wilson on the last couple of laps. He is also going to be back. Michael Deitch is also back for this race too.
Yeah, a couple names you may not recognize here tonight, and one of them being Max Molina, as people know him. He is a very, very good driver, and I think the key for him tonight is going to be stay out of trouble and make it to the end. We're gonna take a quick break as I'm going to have to do something real quick, and we will be right back. Alrighty, everyone, so I finally got it worked out, and we are good to go. Here from Auto Club Raceway, here in Fontana.
Alright, we're back,
Alrighty, everyone,
and
so I finally got it worked
qualifying
out, and we are
concludes.
good to
Let's go through our starting lineup here today for Auto Club. It's 200 miler. Kenny Real will be on pole after a great race last week at Las Vegas, but running into some late race trouble after the stage break. Lining up in P2 will be your second place finisher from last week, who was challenging at the end, Scott Bryant. After that, we will have Michael Fish lining up in the Bass Pro Shops number 21. And then we will have your Daytona winner, Maximus Molina, lining up in P4. After last week's dominant performance, Brad Wilson will line up in P5. And Michael Deitch will line up in P6. Connor Gibson, making his series debut, will line up in P7. Brennan Redford, after a manufacturer and number change, will be in P8, and rounding out your field, Joel Brooks will be in P9.
As next time by, we will get the green flag here from Auto Club. Didn't want to mess that one up.
And Mason, I think we're looking for a great race here today. Not 100% sure what the package is that these cars are running, but I'm 100% sure that this is a close, packed together field. And these guys, by entering this race, you already know that they were all looking to come and win this thing, especially Kenny Real looking for redemption after last week. Another driver looking for redemption, Scott Bryant. Max Molina making his return after his win. So, technically we have two defending winners, but really one true defending winner in Brad Wilson.
Yeah, Brad had that amazing race at Las Vegas last week and picked up the W there. And will he try and go back-to-back here at Auto Club? The pace lights are off, and it's going to take the hard left-hander into the pit road.
Green flag is in the air, and we are racing from the heart of California in Fontana, 31 miles east of Los Angeles, as they barrel down in turn number one for the first time.
Turn number one, Scott Bryant going to take the lead early as they're 3 wide behind. That's Kenny Real in the middle. Molina on the high side, Michael Fisher on the bottom. They're 4 wide down the back straightaways. They hard into the wall. Joel Brooks around he goes. Hard into the wall out of turn 2 here on lap number 1. No caution as of right now. They stay green as they are starting to spread out. Still side by side.
Spread out, but I don't know if that's going to happen here because that draft is going to play a huge toll in this. Scott Bryant, after starting P2, already bringing it back from last week, trying to take over this win, but we still have 99 laps to go for these guys.
3 wide. As Kenny Real not gonna stay in the middle. Here comes Real, around he goes!
Wrecking
big wreck!
Everybody!
Big wreck, everyone! The big one! That's everyone at Connor Gibson's in it.
Brad Wilson!
Molina's in it. Oh, they're still wrecking.
The debut, Connor Gibson is in it.
Deitch is in it. Bradley Wilson's in it. Everyone's in it. That's what got everyone.
The Daytona winner, huge damage to the front end of that Toyota machine.
Caution flag flies. For the first time today. A big accident here out of turn number 2. Let's take a look at how it happened. See, we got Kenny Real there almost in the middle. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Right here, coming out of turn number 2.
Yeah, it looks like Real was
got loose and then went around in front of everyone. Hard. Oh, big
Yeah.
hit for
Oh.
Deutsch.
Yeah, for Deitch, big hit for him into the side of Kenny Real. I thought maybe Max got into it, but no, he just lost it sliding up the racetrack. And,
Let's take
oh
another look
man,
at it
what a
here.
hit into the wall. Just look at Max Molina. Just heartbreak central for him. Big damage to that front end.
Look at Redford going all the way down, almost to the inside wall. Brian got through. I believe Michael Fish got through, but I believe I'm gonna have to say Molina got the worst out of that. As you can see, the front end absolutely destroyed on that race car.
Yep, you can see it. Brennan Redford was able to make it through. That is your series owner. And it also looks like Michael Fish able to make it through. And defending winner Brad Wilson took a hard toll to that outside wall.
We got pit stops here. As almost everyone's gonna come down pit road. Scott Bryant, Michael Fish, and Brandon Redford gonna stay out on track.
And under this caution break, let's do what I would like to do over that time that we had from qualifying to the race, but we didn't have time to do, seeing that we were fixing broadcast issues. But we would just like to thank all of our series sponsors here at the All Terrain Cup Series presented by Freedom Racing Series, Firestorm Racing, Shenandoah Shine, Undecided Racing, and Empire Paints. And those are your series sponsors for the All Terrain Cup Series presented by Freedom Racing Series. Looks like Bryant's still going to be leading. No pit stops by him. Fish and Redford being able to make it through. They will be lining up in P2 and P3. Brad Wilson still going to be in pit road at this moment. Connor Gibson exited. Joel Brooks, after wrecking on the first lap, he is still in pit road.
It's actually... my apologies. Let's go back and actually take a look at what happened to Joel Brooks there, as we are going to get the one to green, I believe, right there.
Yep, that was the one to green that time back.
Let's take a look at that, the start, or, yeah, take a look at the start right around here. It's Joel Brooks, yeah. So here's your race start. Let's pick up speed on the replay. See this restart. Let's take a look at what happens. Just gets kind of loose and just it goes around and it counter corrects hard in the wall there.
A mistake that we've all in our iRacing career. But let's go through where these drivers are going to line up after their choose. Scott Bryant will pick the outside lane. Michael Fish follows behind him. And then Brennan Redford going to make the dive down to the bottom lane. Michael Dietz going to follow Brennan Redford. Max Molina going to follow Deitch. Sorry. Real will follow Molina. Gibson goes to the high side. Wilson currently catching up right now.
Yo, let's mention Brandon Redford. He's gained 6 spots after starting 8th, up to 2nd here on this restart. Really 3rd, due to choose cone.
Yeah.
As they head into the Geico restart zone.
Green flag, and Scott Bryant already gets a great jump out front as the other cars are going to stay packed together.
And it's number 1 here.
I think Bryant is really hoping that that draft isn't going to catch, and it might not. Bryant already off to a great jump as they go 3 wide behind. They're going to be boxing it together. Some cars loose. That's going to be Michael Deitch getting loose off of turn number 2.
Deitch got really loose coming out of turn number 2. Was able to correct it and get it back stable as we got Max Molina on the high side of Brandon Redford out of turn number 4.
Molina sent that deep into the corner. Brennan Redford also sent it deep, and he will 3 wide actually for 2nd place now as Michael Fish trying to make some moves.
Fish going all the way to the bottom, going into turn number 1, trying to chase down Scott Bryant. Scott running that middle line, as well as Redford. Majority of the field running that middle line.
Yeah, it seems like if you want to be
second.
Seems like you want to be conservative this time, then you want to run that middle line. But also, if you want to be making those moves, then you want to be going to the bottom. Kind of like Max Molina is doing. He's running right on that white painted line, as he's going to go to 4th.
As they single file out, coming down the back. Coming down the front straightaway. They are going to be single file, except Deitch and Molina.
Fish trying to get to the outside of Scott Bryant. Will Fish be able to get it out of the corner right here? He will be following Scott Bryant closely down the straightaway. Going to be inching towards his back bumper as they barrel down to turn number 3 once again for the 8th time in this race. Redford going to send it low on the bottom, and it's going to be a 2-car, 3-car battle actually for the lead here in Fontana.
Redford gonna make it work as he's gonna be side by side for the race lead. Not gonna be able to make it work now. Scott Bryant down on the bottom. Michael Fish on the high side, working his way to the back bumper of Scott Bryant.
Fish ripping that high side as he's gonna try to arc it back down towards the middle line, trying to get that run on Scott Bryant down the back straightaway. And he's gonna pull right up to his back bumper. Where does Fish go, and where does Redford conquer on this battle we got?
Side by side to Fish on the bottom, Bryant on the high side, Redford behind waiting for them. Possibly he'll be able to capitalize here in the turn 1. He's got a big run. Redford gonna go to the top as they're side by side.
Redford getting a huge run out of the corner. Redford might be able to go for something right here. He's going to give it the shot to Scott Bryant down the back straightaway. Kenny Reel and Max Molina now as Fish gets shuffled back to 5th, maybe even 6th. 3 wide for the lead. Going to go back to 2 wide. Kenny Reel sending it deep, going down to that corner. Brendan Redford.
Oh, he's going to hit the wall. As that'll be Kenny Reel to the lead as they're 3 wide for the race lead. Molina's pushing Redford down the straightaway. It's a 5-car battle for the race lead as they're 3 wide entering 1 and 2.
What a textbook move by Molina to Redford. Redford able to get that shot by Max Molina, your Daytona winner. As now Redford's going to return the favor, but this time to Kenny Reel.
In the 3 and 4, it'll be Kenny Reel on the bottom, Scott Bryant on the high side, with Molina behind him and Redford behind Bryant as they head down the front straightaway.
Scott Bryant's going to lead again. As your stage break will take place on end of lap 30 and end of lap 60. So we have a 30, 30, and 40 on the stages here.
Down the back straightaway. It'll be Reel on the bottom, Bryant on the high side. Redford's got to run. He's going to get to the outside of Kenny Reel with Michael Fish right behind him.
Redford making those moves that you want to make early on in the race here. But let's see, how does this take a toll on tires for these drivers? That hasn't really been a factor all race long since we're on a short run after that big pileup that happened early on in the race. But as we get later on in this run and later on in the stage, we might be able to see some tire fall off come in, as Molina's going to shoot it right back down to the bottom. Oh, Bryant's going to get the run on Kenny Reel. Bryant's going to shoot it to the top side on Kenny Reel. And, oh, man, Redford's going to cut off Molina's bumper down the back straightaway.
In the 3 and 4. They're going to be 2 by 2 second back. So now they're going to single file out. Redford! Keep it. Kenny Reel got into the wall there as they're hard charging back here. Aggressive racing back here.
Molina running that top side right up next to that wall. He was going to try to shoot it middle 3 wide. Redford is going to be able to send it down to this corner Connor Gibson, another driver back there in the back. He's the last driver from the lead lap. Huge damage to that.
Oh, contact! Around he goes! Scott Bryant around!
No.
Off the nose of Molina went Scott Bryant.
Anyway, one driver that I was gonna try to talk about was our last race winner, Bradley Wilson. Just running in the back. I think that is due to his damage that he has on that machine. But man, what an incident that we had there.
Let's take a look at what happened with Michael Deutsch. See if we can find it. And then we will take a look at what happened with... Oh, yeah, right there when they got into the wall, Deutsch went into the grass. Let's take a look at what happened with Scott Bryant there. And Maximus Molina. So here, out of two, just gets into him, and around went the 52 of Scott Bryant. No way to save that there off the bumper of Max Molina.
Yeah, Bryant did a good job keeping it off of anything else, but it was just Bryant just overcooking it into that wall and just going right down into Max. Yeah, but hearing some radio communication between Redford and Molina after that incident, Redford did apologize, and we have pit stops going down the line here on lap 15, coming back to 16.
Here we go. Brandon Redford gonna stay up. Kenny Reel into the pits, as well as the rest of the field. It's gonna be 4 tires for everyone here. It's gonna be 4 tires. Who's gonna get out first? It's gonna be Connor Gibson. Gonna get out first, I believe. Only 4 tires.
I think what you meant to say right there when Connor Gibson escaped first, you said 4 tires. I think he meant only 2 tires. But yeah, he did actually take 4 tires going down the pit lane, so I guess he just had a better pit stop than everybody else.
I believe everyone else was actually taking possibly repairs there. A lot of cars beat up already early in this race.
Yeah, that is fair, because I don't think Gibson could have possibly had a better pit stop, because he did miss the pit stall getting in there. So I think Gibson was just one of the lonely drivers that did not take repairs right there. But Gibson already not very optimal damage onto that race machine. So let's see how that's going to play out going down into this stage.
Yeah, as we are pacing, we're going to go to a quick break, and we will be right back. We're back here from Auto Club Speedway here for the All-Terrain Cup Series. As we are 1 lap to green as we are going down the back straightaway. Next time by, when we get to the green flag, will be 13 laps to go when we get to the green flag here. Left in the stage.
So after the communications right there with Connor Gibson had already taken max repairs that he could have, but already damaged on that race car. But Joel Brooks was, I thought, out of the race, but no, he's 10 laps down, but he is going to line up 9th on the grid for this restart. think Kenny Real is actually out of this race. Green flag. Going down in turn 1, Scott Bryant already going to get redemption for that incident right there and falling back earlier on. Scott Bryant will now be your leader out of turn number 2, but he's going to have to get the follow from Max Molina right here. Connor Gibson going to try to power back through that bend and see if he can get some stage points, as this time Bobby will approach 12 laps to go in stage number 1.
Out of turn number 2, Brian and Molina side by side for the lead right after their incident down the back straightaway a couple laps ago. Getting into turn number 1, it'll be still side by side. Here comes Bradley G. Wilson on the bottom of Connor Gibson.
Look at Scott Bryant using up that high side and that middle line. Going to be pushing it out of that corner, trying to break the toe of Max Molina, but trying to minimize swerving so he doesn't kill his speed as we go down into this corner. Max Molina going to go right down to that white paint, and Wilson, Scott Bryant will go down to that second lane, and he will start pulling away from Max Molina this time by.
Heading into 1 and 2, Molina. Not the biggest gap in between those two drivers, but enough to where, not bumper to bumper, not really battling, as he is starting to lose time down the back straightaway. Heading into 3, Gibson is starting to gain.
Joel Brooks is now out of this race, but Gibson around the outside, and Scott Bryant going to start. I was going to say he was getting back pulled on by Max Molina, but out of that corner, as now the toe from Max Molina will lead him right up to Scott Bryant as they enter turn number 1. Let's see how it plays out. Will it play out again like it did, where Max will get pulled on out of the corner? As we have a 4-man battle up front with last week's winner, Bradley Wilson.
Yeah, Joel Brooks actually just jumped to pits, so I believe that Joel Brooks is actually back in the session possibly. But might just be a glitch, as they're side by side. Into the wall is Scott Bryant down the front straightaway. Connor Gibson looking now to the back bumper of Max Molina.
Max Molina gonna lead, I think, again today. He might have led before, but 3 wide for second place right here. Scott Bryant's going to get the run off the corner. He's going to be able to pull right to the back bumper of Max Molina. Going down the back straightaway, he's going to dive down to the inside. They're trying to dive bomb Molina going down into this corner. As this time by, we lead us back to 8 laps to go in the stage here in Auto Club. As Bryant goes around the high side. Connor Gibson is now going to have a tow, and Wilson will be to the outside of Connor Gibson.
As Molina trying to regain his lead, trying to catch him. Get the battle for second here. Ongoing battle between Bradley Wilson and Connor Gibson.
As behind there we have Brennan Redford. Brennan Redford has fallen about 4 seconds back, maybe even more. So I think at this point he is not in contention right now until we get to the end of the stage.
We are 7 to go in the stage, and it's a 4-car battle, all separated within a second. It's Bryant, Molina, Wilson, and Gibson. Your top 4 with Redford, Deutsch, Fish, Real, and Brooks rounding out your field.
Looks like Molina is either battling old tires, some bad aero from his race car, just driving over his head right now to try to chase back down Scott Bryant. But Scott Bryant driving a perfect race at this very moment, and he is going to try to keep on pulling away from Max Molina as Connor Gibson, with that damage on his car, going to try to chase back down Brad Wilson, as Brad Wilson is going to be hot on Max Molina's tail.
As Bradley Wilson looking to the inside, he's going to get there out of turn number 2. Side by side down the back straightaway. Wilson not going to be able to clear. Out of 2, he's going to drop behind him. Heading into 3, is he going to be able to make a move?
As Scott Bryant, with all that side damage, still going to be pulling away from Max Molina. But actually, no, this time by, Max Molina is going to pull a lot through that corner. Now he will have the draft on Scott Bryant down the straightaway. Let's see how this shapes up going down turn number 1. 5 laps to go in stage number 1. Molina hard charging to the inside. He's going to back off early compared to Scott Bryant. Scott Bryant's going to wash up throughout the corner. Molina's going to try to get a second stab at this coming out of turn number 2. It's going to be Brad Wilson going to be falling right on their tail, and he is ready to capitalize on any mistake made by these two race car drivers.
3 wide through 3 and 4. Scott Bryant on the high side. This for the race lead. Side by side, and it's going to be Bryant as they're going to single file back out, but here comes Bradley Wilson on the bottom. Side by side with Maximus Molina. Out of 2, he's not gonna have a great run on Scott Bryant as Bradley Wilson's starting to fall off. Gibson has fallen off about 2.2 seconds. As Redford side by side with Deutsch here, as these guys are starting to single file back out.
Bryant working that thing right now, as Connor Gibson will fall off from these drivers. That time by, the top 3 were separated by half a second, as 3 laps to go coming out of turn number 2. Max Molina's going to wash up coming out of that corner. Now he's going to try to get the draft on Scott Bryant down the back straightaway. And Brad Wilson, the teammate to Scott Bryant, is ready to pounce on anything wrong that these drivers do. And now I think what's really helping Scott Bryant right here, as Molina's will pull right at Scott Bryant, I think one thing that's helping Scott Bryant right here as we approach 2 laps to go is just the damage that these other drivers have. But side by side for the lead between the top 2, Max Molina will get the run out of the corner. Scott Bryant will push down the back straightaway. Scott Bryant is not going to be able to clear going down to turn number 3. Max Molina going to shoot back up the inside, or at least going to try to. Max Molina gets the power down as out of turn number 4. This time, side by side, white flag in stage number 1. And this time by, we will be 1 step closer to finding out the winner of this event. And let's see who gets the playoff point this time by, who's going to make the mistake, and who's going to make the costing incident. Molina goes around Bradley Wilson, going to be able to steal second place. Scott Bryant is going to win stage number 1. As it might have been netco between the 2, or it might have just been something that happened between the 2 with just aero on these cars, because the Gen 6 are so aero dependent.
Heartbreak for Maximus Molina.
As now we have the drivers taking shots at each other in the voice chat.
Let's take a look at what happened. It's hard to tell there if there was any contact.
I don't. There wasn't any contact, but I couldn't tell if that was netcode or just something that had to do with aero. But I think it might have been netcode.
I think there might have been a little bit of netcode and a little bit of contact, mix of both possibly. But Scott Bryant gonna win stage number 1. Bradley Wilson finishing second. Connor Gibson third. Michael Deitch fourth. Brennan Redford fifth. Michael Fish sixth. Max Misselina seventh. Kenny Reel out of this race, and Joel Brooks out of this race 8 and 9. As pit stops, as these drivers head down pit lane.
Yeah, very expected pit stops at the end of the stage, but looking back on it, it definitely was netcode because you could tell that Max Molina got some side damage to his car when he started to go around. But let's see how the pit stops are going to shape up this time by. Scott Bryant going to go in on his box right here perfectly.
Let's actually see if we can bring in Scott Bryant. We won't be able to bring in Scott Bryant. Let's actually bring in Connor Gibson. Connor, it's Mason and Mark up here in the booth. Got a copy?
I got ya.
All right, Connor. You have been running up front almost all race. How's the car feeling out there on this really bumpy and dirty surface here at Auto Club?
Absolutely terrible. Like, I mean terrible. Because I got involved in that wreck on lap 1 or 2. And then I got hit in the butt going into my pit box. So I just made a horrible decision and took my fast repair, which I'm going to regret because I'm probably going to get involved in a big wreck here. So we'll see what happens.
So, Connor, being able to win the race off the pit road and off of that restart, how did the draft affect you, and how was the arrow push from the car, just so we get a better understanding of what's happening between these drivers and what they're battling?
Well, the only thing that was able to keep me going was the draft, because other than that, I was screwed because of my damage. So you saw at the end of there, once I got off the, once I lost the draft, I was screwed.
Alright, well, I guess I don't have much more for you, but Mason, do you have anything else for them before we send them back down for this restart?
Yeah, I got one more thing. Connor, how were you able to keep such composure on these, high-intensity restarts, and when you guys are as close to each other as you guys are, in these restarts and even a couple laps after the restarts?
Well, you just gotta trust the guys around you. I mean, I don't trust them, but you just gotta have some faith that they're not gonna run in Neo and wreck you and whatever. I mean, the start of the race was not good because we made it like lap 2, and that was very not good. But we'll just see what happens. Just have to drive my butt off and try not to get involved in anything.
10-4 on that. I guess we're gonna go ahead and send you back down. But good luck for this restart and good luck for the next stage. And congratulations on P3. So yeah, Connor, we will see you. I mean, how can you not love Connor Gibson? The guy that speaks his mind. I mean, you just love to talk to him. As the pace car is going to make the hard left-hander. As green flag back in the air.
Green. We're gonna back racing here at Auto Club. Ooh, big block by Bradley Wilson as Scott Bryant, his teammate, threw a block on him. Down the back straightaway. Pushing. Here goes Bryant to the bottom.
Bryant able to make that thing work as he has no damage whatsoever. Actually, no, he might actually have some damage on that Toyota Camry.
As they are single filed back out all the way back. A battle for the lead though. Scott Bryant and Bradley Wilson. These two had an amazing battle at Las Vegas as we got some side-by-side racing back there. I believe that's Michael Fish and Brandon Redford. They were side-by-side through 1 and 2. Into the wall is Bradley Wilson. Connor Gibson going to capitalize. Side-by-side going through 3 and 4. And Connor Gibson not going to be able to clear midway down the front straightaway. He will be able to clear going into turn number 1. He's going to take a lunge at Scott Bryant heading into 1 and 2.
Alright, sorry about that, but Connor Gibson going to be back at it again, going for the lead after taking that fast repair that we talked to him about, as he's going to send it down deep into turn number 3 here, and he's going to battle Scott Bryant out of the corner to keep on trying to take that spot away from him. And also Connor talking about how the car just did not feel right to him and how it was, in his words, terrible. But we're going to have to see what he's going to think as he's going to take the lead going through turns 1 and 2.
Out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway, they're going to be side by side. The 31 of Connor Gibson and the 52 is Scott Bryant. Can't rule out Bradley Wilson in the 51 there. He's charging. Here's Brandon Redford out of nowhere in the 3.
Maybe some slight contact right there. They might have off each other. Oh,
big
contact
save
in the back.
Redford with a big save.
By Brandon Redford. Brandon Redford, the wheel man, gonna be wheeling it once again off of turn number 4. And I think that might be save of the race if we don't have anything better, because that was just quite frankly glorious.
Side by side in the 3. Gibson with a hard lunge. Drives it in super deep. Scott Bryant seemed to back off early. He's going to have a better run out of the corner, though. Gibson's loose. Oh, big moment there. Down the front straightaway now.
As it seems like it's going to be a 2-car battle right here between the 2 of these drivers, as the other drivers wait to try to get that on the loud pedal and try to recompose. But Gibson going to send it deep down into the corner, battling Scott Bryant once again. Off the corner, though, out of turn number 4, Gibson is going to get passed up by Scott Bryant as we hit the start-finish line, taking 21 laps to go in stage number 2.
Still side by side, entering turn number 1, and Connor Gibson going to be able to clear him once again. Scott Bryant all the way to the bottom out of 2. They're going to be still side by side down the back straightaway, heading into turn number 3. Gibson starting the side draft. He'll get the run as they're going to be dead even going through turn 3.
Gibson might be able to get the run out of the corner right here if Scott Bryant can't get that charge back up. Gibson going to be able to clear, and Gibson will lead once again here today at this 2-mile D-shaped oval as they head down in turn number 1 this time. Now 20 laps to go in stage number 2. 60 laps to go in this 200-mile event.
Down the front straightaway, Scott Bryant gonna make a move. Almost slight contact down the straightaway. Gibson gonna be able to stay clear in the 1 and 2.
See, one thing to note about, they only have one fast repair for this race. So Gibson, after he used his, he is out of fast repairs now. So we're gonna see how that's gonna affect him. Also, they have 6 tire sets waiting for them in the pits this race. So I don't think they're gonna have any problem having to save those up. As
3 and 4.
looks like
Out of turn 4.
yeah, Brian's gonna get that.
Down the front straightaway. The battle here for the lead between Scott Bryant and Connor Gibson. These two slugging it out with, I believe, 14 laps to go in the stage. No, sorry. 17 laps to go on the stage.
Gibson gonna make the lunge back down to the inside here to see if he can get that spot back, as it's not gonna be able to work.
We're gonna ride on board with Connor Gibson here out of 4.
Right now would be a perfect time to go all terrain. Gen 6, crank it up. Sorry about that. We are back now in Fontana. 15 laps to go. Scott Bryant still leads. Thought I was talking, turns out my mic was muted, but Connor Gibson gonna make the lunge down to the inside. I think Connor might have burned up his tires here trying to fight for that lead, but the dominating performance so far will continue from Scott Bryant to see if he can take shades from his teammate last week here, as it is a big battle going on. A 3-car battle, and that will be between Redford, Fish, and Wilson. But right now, Scott Bryant making this thing work, as he's going to try to cut the draft from Connor Gibson, and he might have accomplished that so far, but we'll see if Gibson can take a rebound right here and see if he can make that high side and that Larson line take a I can't think of my words here, take a toll on Scott Bryant's lead, as he's going to send it deep down in turn 1.
We are 13 laps to go here from Auto Club. There is a 3-car battle for third here. And my apologies.
Now, Mason, there's one camera angle that I saw during that Crank It Up that I really want to look back at, and it had to do with the inside of that car. It showed the shock, and it shows how much iRacing can replicate the look of these race cars and the realism of these race cars. And right here, you can just see the actual springs moving in the car, and just those tires just bouncing and going along with the bumps and replicating. looks like this time by will take 11 laps to go in stage number 2 here. Auto Club. Now, one thing to talk about while our broadcaster is away and we are stuck on this thing, and actually our broadcaster just came back. But one thing to talk about, Auto Club will be changing next year to a short track, so I wonder if this series is going to go along with the track layout change, or if they're going to stay at Old Auto Club, which I personally prefer. Is Michael Fish going to get into the wall out of the corner, and that might be hurting his chances at being able to take P3 for the stage, as we are actually at 10 laps to go in stage number 2 here.
Yeah, apologies
and
for staying on that camera. We had technical difficulty.
Redford making that high side, just giving that launch out of the corner, but it is going to be no match for the speed of Brad Wilson. Just how fast he is. He's going to be running that bottom line right on that paint, and he's going to shoot it up back out of the corner, and it's going to be the crossover from Redford to get the spot back over Brad Wilson.
Side by side entering turn number 1. They will be still side by side. 9 laps to go here in stage 2. The battle for third. Wheel to wheel racing here at Auto Club as right on board. Oh, contact right there entering turn 3. Michael Fish. More contact. Bradley G. What a save!
To the back bumper.
What a save by Bradley G. Wilson. He kept his foot in it and sent that thing sideways.
Bradley Wilson wheeling that Toyota Camry around turns 3 and 4, getting dead sideways. 8 laps to go in the stage. Scott Bryant has basically checked out from the 31 of Connor Gibson, who he was battling earlier on in the stage, as it looks like this time by Brendan Redford going to get the launch out of the corner. Brendan Redford is unstoppable, it seems like, as soon as he gets up to that high side. So that might be one thing to worry about going down into stage number 3 later in the race. If Brendan Redford is in it to win it, you might want to take that high set away from him, just so he doesn't get too powerful near the end of the run. Because now I think we might have been green for this entire stage, and 7 laps to go, so that means that we've basically gone for 23 laps now. As Redford going to get into the wall, that might be hurtful. It is going to be hurtful, but it might not lose him a spot, because he's just going to get the run out of that top side. Redford's starting to lose his traction up there on the top, but just the run out of the corner is still so significant that he is able to keep his foot in it out of the corner.
On board with Michael Fish giving us one of the best camera angles as they barrel into turn number 1.
Oh, one thing that I'm noticing right now, if we can get a view on Connor Gibson right now and just take a break from the commentating real quick and just listen to his car. It seems like he's clutching it in going down to the corners. I think we might have heard him putting the clutch in right there for a split second, but I heard him really going through 1 or 2, so he might do it back this time. Not.
Yep. Right there. Either turn the car off or put the clutch in. He did it, I believe, one more time, exiting the corner. He is losing significant amount of time with only 5 to go in the stage.
I mean, he doesn't have much to lose because I don't think those 3 guys behind him are going to be able to make it. And he might be doing this just so he can make it to the end on field because
I think I saw him shake the car going down the back straightaway.
I don't know. I'll check and I'll see what these guys be able to make it to the end.
Yeah, so this is slowing down Connor Gibson, as you can see on that graph right there. As you'll see, whenever Wilson goes across the line, a whole tenth or so, a couple tenths, lost. Wilson set a much faster lap, and they are gaining on Connor Gibson. Looking at the time delta, you can see that delta was at about almost 5-second gap. Now it's almost down to a 3.5 second. It's actually lower than 3.5 seconds now. So yeah, you can hear him put the clutch in. Big time that time, bye.
See, they were saying that they should be able to make it to the end on gas because Redford said that he has 14 laps left on his tank. So I think this might just have something to do with Connor Gibson maybe trying a different strategy, or something might have happened in his car that he's trying to get sorted back out.
As we got the battle for third here.
2 laps to go. Scott Bryant checked out, might be able to go back-to-back stages, but the battle for third, like you just pointed out, is getting more intense as we go. As Wilson gonna get the run out of the corner, but Redford is now gonna be the one that gets the run out of the corner. Redford still making that high side work, and I mean, you just cannot get him off of there unless you're gonna have to throw a slider. That's just gonna have to be from way on back. Redford gonna scrape the wall out of the corner, white flag in stage number 2. Let's see, does Wilson set it up right here through 1 and 2, or does he just throw a haymaker? And it looks like, oh, Redford's gonna get in the wall! Not gonna help him. And it didn't look like Wilson went for the haymaker strategy right there. That might hurt him going
Wilson,
down to 3.
He's trying to conserve his car. He's already got some damage. I don't think he's gonna be able to. I don't think he's gonna make one of those haymakers. He might here though. Not gonna make a haymaker going through 3 and 4, and I believe Redford is gonna have it locked up here.
Scott Bryant, stage 2 winner, and man, just what a commanding performance by Scott Bryant. Battled with Connor Gibson, but did not let that ruin anything for him, as he just ran away with that. So now Scott Bryant has racked up a total of 10 points and 2 playoff points this stage.
Scott Bryant, your stage 2 winner. See if we can bring him in. I don't think we will be able to.
Yep. No, Bryant
we'll
just
be able to,
got
Scott Bryant. Let's bring in Scott Bryant.
Hey, Scott Bryant, this is Mason DeMarco up in the commentary booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I do.
Commanding performance up there, and you have just been the star driver so far this race. What's so far gone through your head, and what's gone through your teammates' head, as he's been up there, but he hasn't really been the guy that looks like he's taking the cake for us like he was last week.
Really, I've been trying to think about what I can do differently than everybody else and be able to pull away. Brad, he's struggling a little bit because he has a lot of damage, but I think he's going to come in and get his spash repair, so I think he'll be up here sometime soon.
Mm-hmm. How was the damage on your side panels affecting you so far, and has it
Uh,
played a toll in your performance?
it's not that bad. I got it all fixed, so I think it didn't really bring me down any. I mean, it was a netcode tap, so I think I got the benefit of the doubt on that one.
Mm-hmm. Just give us your play right here. What do you think it's going to take to be able to park it in that infield victory lane here today?
Uh, Consistency, um, saving the tire, and making sure I can stay out front of everybody and keep clean air on my nose and be able to not drive it hard and into the wall.
And now with your teammate exiting right behind you, we're going to have to see how that's going to go, because y'all guys are just going to be unstoppable like y'all guys have been the last couple of weeks. But one last thing, we asked Connor Gibson about this earlier, but how's the aero? Because he said that he isn't a huge fan of it, but what's your thoughts of it? Like, how is the aerodynamics affecting you and your car?
I feel like I've been fortunate enough where I've been kind of in the front, so I haven't really been behind anybody. Trying to keep the right front on it, so to actually turn and be able to save my right sides, save my right front, my right rear. Trying to keep those numbers as close as possible.
All right, I don't guess I have much more for you, but Mason, do you have anything for him before we send him back?
I got one more question. How many laps can you guys go on fuel?
I might be able to push about 42, but I think most people probably get about 38, maybe 35.
So you guys should be good on fuel, or be very close.
It'll be close. It'll be very close.
All right, well, I guess that's all for you, buddy. But man, great performance, and good luck for the rest of this. But I think with the competition rising, you might need it. But you've just been fast all day, so I'm not sure that you do need the good luck. But I'll still give it to you anyway.
Thank you.
That was the driver of the number 52, Scott Bryant. That was Shoes Cone that time by, as he said, about 38 laps. About 35 or 38 laps for these drivers. So, Mason, I'll let you take it away for the restart.
So it'll be Scott Bryant, Bradley Wilson, Max Molina, Brandon Redford, Michael Fish, Michael Deutsch, Connor Gibson, your running drivers. Coming to the restart. Here in the All-Terrain Cup Series. Green flag is back out.
Scott Bryant, the commander of this race so far, is now going to try to defend off of his teammate, as Bryant's going to get a little bit loose going through the corner. He's going to be able to hold it coming out of the corner, though, as the Shenandoah Shine couple bring it back out front, and they are flying, as Max Molina still has that damage to the front end.
Max Molina gunning to have a good. Just
Oh,
gunning.
Fish into the wall! Fish hard to the wall. He's slow. He's going to drop way back. He's going to go to the last of his group.
As we got a battle, it'll be Bradley Wilson loose out of 2.
Bradley Wilson, as the 2 races that we've had that weren't super speedways, I mean, these guys have just controlled. I mean, they're so quick, and I mean, now with former race winner Max Molina maybe being able to maybe being able to give him some competition right here. They might be in for a surprise with how fast his Camry is. Connor Gibson going to send it deep on Max Molina. Connor Gibson not wasting any time getting back up there and making up for what he did in stage 2, where he just fell back and ended up finishing P2. As those teammates back battling again like we saw in the final restart at Las Vegas, as now they are going to give the bump draft to each other as the tandem working together trying to pull away from Connor Gibson. But Connor Gibson not going to let that stop him, as he's going to shoot it, or at least try to shoot it up the inside of Scott Bryant, but it's not going to work out because Bryant's going to be able to battle back on Bradley Wilson after he catches the draft.
Mark, as these drivers heading to turn 3 and 4, Gibson goes to the bottom. How do you think these guys are going to deal with this? The longest run we've had is Scott Bryant. There gets really loose. He's going to get into the wall out of 4. Gibson going to be able to clear him. Redford, ooh, big block there. And Gibson's going to be forced too wide with Redford. He came out of nowhere. Running the high side the lap before. Up to second now.
Well, Mason, I was going to give you my answer, but I think that just gave it for me, just the nerves getting to these drivers, and I don't think we're going to see any form of the driver that we've seen earlier in the race, at least when we get down to about the 30 lap range is where we saw the end of the stages, and after that it's just going to start just getting wilder and wilder, and we're going to see a side of these drivers that we haven't seen all day long.
Yeah, Mark. This is going to be a... We might be able to stay green. I don't know. The way these guys are driving right now, we may have one caution. As we are riding on board with Bradley Wilson, looking back at Bryant, Gibson, and Redford. They are too wide, betting Redford and Bryant. As a side that we haven't seen all day, like I was saying about Bradley Wilson, but that might have been due to the damage that he had earlier on. Like Bryant was saying when we had him up here in the broadcast booth, Brad has just been struggling all day with his damage that he had, so it's good to finally see that he hasn't lost a step, and it just had to do with just the misfortune of getting involved in that crash earlier on in the race. Side is Connor Gibson and Redford. Gibson going to be able to clear out of 2, as we now have 29 laps to go here from Auto Club.
As Wilson going to be back under pressure from his teammate, and will Bryant be able to go for it? Will he go for it if he does get the chance? And will they battle like they did last week, or will they not make the same mistake that they did of almost letting the 15 into the Roby by Las Vegas? And will they keep on trying to pull away from Connor Gibson, and then they start to battle once they have a good enough gap to be able to go all at it? As Gibson trying to run the line if they're tanking, but also trying to avoid the direct line to avoid the aero push. And aero push results from just dirty air pushing onto your car versus clean air that the leader is getting, which is going to keep him stuck to his line. But dirty air will result in a feeling in the car that won't be like what you want it to, and most of the time it will result in getting tight throughout the corner if you run the exact same line as the car in front of you. and it will take a beating on your performance if you continue to run that line. But the leaders being able to pull away, but Brad Wilson pulling away once again. And Brad Wilson, just ever since I've been up in this commentator, even though it's only been for 2 races now, this is my 2nd race, he's just been a driver that stood out to me. He's an absolute unit when it comes to the racing surface. And if there's any guy that you think is going to do good and you want to put him on your scorecard, it's definitely this guy, because this guy is going to be a great addition to this league just because of how fast he is and how dominant he will be.
Wilson,
And you also,
3/10 off here. Starting to lose time lap by lap.
have to remember, Wilson didn't show promising qualifying. At least, I mean, it was a good qualifying lap, but it wasn't the Bradley Wilson that I was thinking that we would see today. I was thinking we'd see a Bradley Wilson put it top 3 on the board, but... Oh, who's our pit stop?
Michael Fish into the pits here. Under green with 25 to go.
I think the pit window has opened. Yeah, it definitely has opened by tens of laps, but we'll still have to see if these guys can make it, because if they get a caution, I already know they're going to go in for tires, because I think we've seen, I think they've used 3 tire sets so far. At least most of them have, which would leave them 3 more sets in the pits, so they definitely have enough to make it back to the checkered flag if they use their tire sets.
They actually have 2 sets left.
Oh, they might have 2 sets. Okay.
I believe they have 5 tire sets. So.
Oh, 5 extra sets. Sorry.
Yeah, 5 extra. So yeah. No.
Sorry, I was reading as 6.
As we are 23 laps to go this time by, as the field is starting to get spread out.
There's definitely not much to talk about this race, at least when you look at the front.
Other than that, Redford getting into the wall hard, 1 and 2. That'll slow his run down that he had on the number 31 of Connor Gibson. Let's actually ride on board with Brandon Redford. Oh, he's going to get into the wall again.
Redford seeming to run that middle line to try to stay away from the wall, because... Oh, Redford's going to be getting... Redford with the pit stop, so yeah, I don't think we're going to see these guys be able to make it on gas. And I'd imagine this might be the tire stop right here for these guys, too.
Yeah, Michael Fish did take 4 tires.
But like I was saying beforehand, before Brandon Redford did a slap shot to the wall, not much to talk about for this race. The field's been mostly spread out. We've basically had a dominating performance from Scott Bryant, and now we have a dominating performance so far from his teammate, as his teammate has just become in control of stage 3 so far, and he is currently pulling away from Scott Bryant, as Connor Gibson is going to be back in 3rd, and we're going to be seeing the same exact Connor Gibson that we might have saw on stage number 2 here.
As here comes Brandon Redford out of the pits. He will only be lapped by Wilson, Bryant, and Gibson. He will stay ahead for the meantime of Maximus Molina. Actually comes out about half straightaway in front. Right now, the gap almost about a second between Wilson and Bryant, and about 5 seconds to Gibson. Other than that, Deitch going into 3, while the leaders are going into 1. So we will see.
As Wilson taking a perfect arc to the middle of that corner, as we are now halfway through stage number 3. And if this were any normal stage, it would be 10 laps to go, but it is actually 20 laps to go for this final stage. And let's see, will the pit stops come into play like we were talking about? Or will Scott Bryant be able to hold up to his word and pull off that 42 lap stint that he was talking about and maybe be able to win this thing?
I don't know, Mark. It's going to be a hard one to tell. And to all the keyboard warriors, this will be our last time going to a full screen caution. Or sorry, not caution, ad.
Want a race? Ready? Set? Go!
Green flag is in the air.
Welcome back to Auto Club Raceways. We are 17 laps to go. Wilson still in front with Scott Bryant right behind him. Redford charging his way, trying to get back on the lead lap. Strategy here. He is hunting down Bradley Wilson to get his lap back. Possibly hoping for a caution once he does get his lap back.
What we're seeing right now, we're definitely seeing how much the tires are affected. Because this time by, Brad Wilson and the other guys that haven't hit, there will be 14 laps. 24 laps on their tires. As Redford just able to rocket ship past our leader here and take that back, as now Michael Fish is the first car lap down.
And Michael Fish, he'll be hard charging possibly here soon. I
think we might see Max Molina take his fast repair when he goes in. If he does.
Yeah, I would definitely expect Molina, if there's a caution and if he goes in, to take that fast repair. We'll see if if these leaders are going to take their if they're going to take another set of tires or not. They very well could try and make it all the way and save.
Brad Wilson, last time by, he stretched his gap out to 2.2 seconds. This might be a little bit more coming by this time. And Connor Gibson's still able to hang on to P3. As now we only have 14 laps to go in this race. So let's see how the pit stops are going to hold up.
As we are 13 laps to go. Presented by Freedom Racing League.
As I will be right back.
We have Bradley Wilson dominating stage 3 here, as he will combine to get 12 laps to go. Fuel, will they make it on fuel? It's gonna be hard to find out. We will see though. $11 to go. Bradley Wilson trying to make it. Can he make it back? Will he be able to make it back? 11 more laps. He's got 3.2 seconds over his teammate Scott Bryant, and about 10, almost 11 seconds now over Gibson. He is being caught up to by Molina, about a 3-second gap between those two. Molina has taken the gap from 4 seconds all the way down to about 3. Oh, Gibson's into the wall. Him battling, I believe that is Michael Fish, has forced him actually into an error. He gets into the wall big time there as we are 10 to go. The gap is now down to almost 2.5 seconds between Gibson and Molina. Will Maximus Molino be able to catch up? The gap is now under 2.5 seconds. There's Molina. You can barely see him. Down in the 3 and 4 for Gibson. 9 to go for Bradley Wilson. Molina, a 3.4 second gap after Gibson got into the wall while battling with Michael Fish.
Well, I am back now. Not sure what I missed there, but all that I heard, there was some contact between Connor Gibson and the wall. But Scott Bryant, 8 laps away. Caution comes out! It's gonna be Brendan Redford front straightaway.
Oh, once again, just like last week. Oh.
That's gonna be deserving of a instant replay presented by Undecided Racing on YouTube.
Well, let's, sorry, my bad. Here we go. Already around here, so let's, go here. Oh. Kinda like last week, by himself. Driving hard, and then just gets into it, counter corrects it. Like last week. Surprisingly, exactly like last week. Oh, almost got into Bradley Wilson. Yellow flag is out. A big moment there for Brandon Redford. He actually will go a lap down because of this. Pit stops, everyone's coming in.
Not to mention a big moment there for your leader,
Ooh.
Bradley.
Scott Bryan, as you saw, almost got into the pit road barrels, which would have ended his race, because those are very unforgiving.
Yeah, very coincidentally, just like what happened last week. But that's going to be your late race yellow.
that's what is going to make this an interesting race. Max Molina coming out second. With still a damaged race car. And that'll be Scott Bryant and Connor Gibson.
Already.
He very well may have used this fast, or he's going to save it even more. Your 5th caution of the day. Second for an incident.
While I wait for the restart to happen, I will be right back once again.
Here we go. Gonna be going green with 5 laps to go. It'll be Max Molina on the bottom, Wilson on top, then Deutsch, Gibson, Fish, and Bryant, then Redford rounding out the field. Your control car will be Bradley Wilson. It'll be a 5 to go restart.
There we go. What it all comes down to. And green flag. The stack up. Connor Gibson doesn't get a well of a launch, but he's going to get the help from Scott Bryant. Bradson.
Molina did not get a good start contact there.
Brad Wilson shoots down into turn number 1, 3 wide for second place. As Molina! Contact! Gibson! Gibson!
Around goes Gibson!
Second Molina!
Molina is gonna save it, possibly. No!
Oh, Molina back around!
Gibson around. No caution. We stay green.
Gibson was not around. That was Molina that went around.
Sorry, Molina around. No caution. We stay green.
4 laps to go. Is this where the drivers bring out the big guns?
As Molina going very slow around the racing surface. Gonna stay on track. Oh no.
Four laps to go.
Gotta keep an eye on Molina going really slow for some reason. Three to go. The lap car Molina.
Scott Bryant, pull back up. Scott Bryant is going to utilize his line that he's been taking all day long. And he's going to have the draft. 3 laps to go. Now 2.5 laps to go as they go down the back straightaway. Shooting down.
Bryant going to run the high side.
Around the outside, side by side. No single file back out coming out of the corner. But Scott Bryant trying to use that line. Brennan Redford was taken. And Scott Bryant was not. try to get the toe off of his teammate Brad Wilson.
Riding on board with Scott Bryant.
Bryant going to keep on utilizing that higher lane.
The
And
lap
seeing
car
if it can
Molina.
work.
Gotta watch out for the lap car Molina. They're gonna catch him. How late will it be when they catch him? Will they catch him going in? They're gonna probably catch him on the front straightaway here.
There's the gain.
He's gonna let him by clean. White flag is out.
White flag.
From what? Oh, he wrecks him! He turns him! He turned up the racetrack and wrecked Scott Bryant!
Oh my god! Max Molina is gonna alt F4 after that. Holy crap!
I just
That's
sound
not
like
right.
IDK player. That is not right. Bradley Wilson
That is
with
not
almost a
right.
2-second gap. Michael Fish second, Deutsch third, Gibson fourth, Redford fifth, Bryant. An unfortunate
No, I
way to
wouldn't
end
say
his
that
day.
yet. Oh,
It's gonna be
the
Wilson.
battle.
But for
Between-
third, the battle. Coming to the
And
line.
It's gonna be Deitch.
Deitch gonna get third.
Stop. Oh my god.
A big moment there for Molina.
Can we get an undecided racing on YouTube replay of that incident?
I'm still in shock that happened. I
am too,
had
but
a worry
man.
in my voice when I saw Molina going slow. I thought Molina was gonna do something to Connor Gibson after their tangle.
That's what I was thinking too.
We're gonna have to go to Scott Bryant. We're gonna have to slow this
Wilson
down.
Burns it down in Fontana as he should.
Right there goes up and into Scott Bryant and hard into the wall. All four tires off the ground for both of the cars, like a unidentified flying object. The CIA might be on them for that one. The FIA might be on them for that unrecognized flight.
Here we go. Here is Brad Wilson. Brad, commanding performance last race. We weren't able to get it done earlier in the race, but as soon as you repaired that damage, you were flying like a rocket ship. It looks like you were shot out of a cannon in that final stage. Good win, and take us through it.
Thank you. It was quite an exciting race. I had no idea we had that kind of speed at the beginning of the night. And just lap by lap, getting bolder and bolder with a slower car as soon as we got the damage fixed. It was just on rails.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't have to make a pit stop like some of the other guys did, at least not to my knowledge. You might have made one while I was gone, but you didn't have to make a pit stop like some of the other guys did. And did that play out to your success, or did you think if everybody still had to make a pit stop, you think that you still would have been able to take the cake down pit lane?
I think if we had to take a pit stop, I think they pit a little early. So I think even if everyone pit, we probably would have been in good position, but might have had a few more people to battle for it.
Yep, and any thoughts on your teammate there on that last lap incident?
It's kind of unfortunate. It happened. It could have been a good finish there at the end.
Yeah, I think it could have been a really good finish, but at this point, I'm just going to start calling you the commander, because, I mean, you're just taking control of every single race that I've seen you in this league, because, I mean, you've won both the races that I've commentated, and you also, like, as soon as you were able to repair that damage and get that car in check, you never looked in your rearview mirror. Like, you had a good battle with Scott at the beginning of that run, but as soon as that run started to continue on, you were just edging and edging and edging.
Thank you. Yeah, it was quite a adventure trying to find that line, but as soon as you found it and ran it, it just kept going.
Well, Mason, do you have anything to ask him?
Just want to say congratulations on the back-to-back wins. That is win number 2 for you. And anyone you'd like to thank?
Y'all for broadcasting this. It's always been fun. Scott for coming in the race and helping me out a little bit. ShandoShine.co. And everyone up for showing up tonight.
All right, well, that is your race winner, Brad G Unit Wilson, as we send him back to his chat. Let's go to your P2 finisher tonight, who is Michael Fish.
We actually, I don't believe we'll be able to get Michael Fish in here, or who finished third? Michael Deutsch. We won't be able to get either of them in here for this, I believe. Michael Fish has joined Redford Motorsports VC, so let's bring him in. Michael Fish, Mason, and Mark up here on the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Congratulations on the P2. Walk us through that final lap.
I mean, well, first off, I mean, that caution was perfect timing because I had just pitted for fresh tires and I was making my way up to try and get my lap back. And when Brandon wrecked, thankfully he, passed the leader and got his lap back beforehand, so I got the lucky dog. And on that last restart, I just pushing all I can on them new tires, running the top. And coming to the final lap, you saw what you saw. Didn't really expect that from Molina, but, stuff happens. And we were able to get through there and finish second. I'm very surprised with what happened tonight.
Yeah, you had a, pretty good race all the way through the race until, I believe you got into the wall. Can't remember exactly what happened, but you worked your way back up to finish second here and drove an amazing race, and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, with these cars, with the dirty air, it really pushes you up, and you don't really expect it until it's too late. I'm still trying to get used to these cars and everything, so I feel like I did a decent job of managing everything, so made a couple mistakes, but it's all about learning.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Michael. And anyone you'd like to thank?
Well, my mom for giving birth to me, and that's about it. So, subscribe to It's Mike Racing on YouTube.
A man with morals. Okay. You love to see it. Michael Fish, driver of the number 21, and your second place finisher here tonight, Fontana.
I believe that's everyone we're going to be able to get in. I don't believe we will be able to talk to Deutsch tonight.
Yeah, we might be able to get Deitch in here next week to give him his respective interview like he deserved after that third place finish tonight, battling with Connor Gibson off the last corner. And actually, I do want to talk to Connor Gibson because he was the guy that was giving us all the stuff here tonight and giving me all my information that I needed to know that I didn't know. So Connor Gibson, it's Mason and Mark up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes.
All right, we weren't able to get Deitch in here, but we saw that you were in here. So thoughts on the race and how did that all change?
I am so Max Molina. I'm trying not to swear, but I could have won the race, but he, decided to. And that was just a racing deal when he hit me, but I don't really know what to say because it's just really stupid. I really don't know what to say.
I think from now on we need to get a bleep sound effect for you just so you can
Wait, did I swear?
say what no, but just so you can say what you want to say and we can keep this PG broadcast. But like you were saying earlier on in the night, you were saying that you weren't really feeling the car. And after you took that fast repair, how did that all change and on that late race restart and on that long run that y'all guys had?
Oh,
What was going through your mind, and did you feel any different?
oh, the car felt awesome because I was actually able to. I was probably the only car able to pass that team, whatever that team is, those two Toyotas. I was able to pass the 52 under green and lead a 3 laps or so when we were having an intense side by side battle for a while, and it was a lot of fun. And then I chewed the I chewed the tires up, and yeah, so yeah.
All right. Well, do you have anybody that you'd like to thank? And I guess Mason, since he's gone, he doesn't have a chance to ask you any more questions. But
I'd like to thank Maximus Molina for messing up my race. Thank you so much. Good job. And also for ruining the good finish that was going to happen there on the last lap after by LePaging the second place car. Real classy guy. Really classy. Like, one of the most classiest things I've ever seen. I love the guy, and I'm going to race him with so much respect when I see him on the track next time. It is going to be the most respectful racing ever. Because, I mean, again, he made a mistake, but yeah. Okay, yeah, you should cut me off now before I say something stupid.
yeah, I probably should. Connor Gibson, like we were talking about earlier, the guy that speaks his mind, 4th place finish for him today, and like he said, might be able to challenge for a win. But I mean, what more can I say after that interview? All of us here at the All Terrain Cup Series, presented by Freedom Racing Series, would like to thank our sponsors one more time. Freedom Racing Series, Firestorm Racing, Shenandoah Shine, Undecided Racing on YouTube, and Empire Paints. Alright, I don't have much more to add until Mason Flager gets back, which is the head of our broadcast here at Virtual Motorsports TV. But I'd like to thank everybody for watching the broadcast, and I'd like to thank all the drivers for showing up. I think Mason just got back, so Mason, do you have anything that you'd like to add before we head off the air?
I just want to thank everyone for watching, and thank you for staying tuned in for this, I don't know how to put it, eventful race tonight. It was a good one. These drivers put on a show, and that's all I got.
All right, thank you, and I will not be able to, but Mason will see you next week. Right here, same exact place, same exact time. See you later.
Have a good night.